Hello and welcome everybody to Footy Talk, a listener podcast. I'm James Graham. I'm joined by, as always, Connor Watson. Hello to you.
Hello, James. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. I'm very well. And also got Greg Inglis.
Hey boys, how are we? All going well?
Good.
Yep.
How are you,
good.
mate?
Oh, you know, baby's, I think she's a little bit teething at the moment. Every week I've been coming here and all that there, but I always keep saying you wouldn't change it. So, you know, it's been good. You know, we take it in turns at home, bit of a team, Mum and I. So, it's all going good.
Yeah. Hey, Colin, just before we kick off the show, just following on from last week's episode.
Yes.
The welcome to first grade moment. Yeah, a teammate was sharing one of those with you.
Yeah, so
this week.
I think it was the question was actually who would I rather tackle, you off the kickoff or Greggy at full flight? And the reason that this came up was because when we were talking about that, I knew I'd had this conversation with a teammate of mine, but I was just trying to work it out who. And then the other day, Dylan Napper and I were chatting and we were talking about when he first started and remember how he might have, did he put a shot on you?
The Burgess boys he went after.
Yeah, I remember he put a shot on Gallen in like his first game. He a couple big ones, and then he reckons one of his earliest games, Greggy has run at him, and Naps, so it was like a kick. Greggy's picked the ball up, and he's like, Naps has good side's his left side. That's where he whacks blokes. And he reckons Greggy didn't even pick his head up. Naps is like, how good is this? I'm going to whack one of the greats here. Like, I'm the man. And then he just goes to smack Greggy and just got bumped off. Greggy apparently just didn't even look at him, just head down and then bang, ran straight over him. So that's what Naps reckons. That was his welcome to first grade moment.
Big Naps.
Do
I'm
not
glad to
mess.
see him back in Oz playing footy.
Yeah, he's back. He's been playing for the Roosters Cup side, so it's like the only senior player in that team. It's all just like it's literally 20-year-olds and then Naps, so he's just sort of their leader. But it's good to have him back. I was thinking, it got me thinking about my welcome to first grade moment too, and mine was against you guys actually, Jimmy, against the Dragons, Anzac Day. It was probably my third game in first grade. And I remember same sort of thing. Jason Nightingale's gone to take a play one carry, and I've gone to line him up, and just bumped me off, like sat me on my ass. And then all my mates after the game were into me. But like Jason Nightingale was deceptively strong, and he was a gun.
Yes.
He was an absolute gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, he sat me on my ass. But because he looked skinny, all my mates were into me about it. Like,
That's it. If only they knew, eh? Like, that's it. Some people are deceptively strong.
yes.
Like, and he was one of them. That almost like skinny strong.
Yeah.
A skinny strong man.
Yeah. What about you?
My welcome to first grade moment, I can close my eyes and think of it right now. So a man called Michael Korkidis, playing in the Super League, he played for Wakefield. I was a fresh-faced 18-year-old playing in the back row, and he has took the carry off a tap and just ran straight at me. And I've thought, I've got to like put everything behind this. And I can still feel the pain in my shoulder from that. I can, you know, when you close your eyes and you can think, and you that frozen shoulder, and you're just running on the field and you're like, is this going to come back? It's just
all numb.
it just goes. It just goes, and it's crazy because everybody's been in that moment. Oh, sorry, most footballers have been in that moment of frozen shoulder, and it is, it's horrible. You just got to keep going, and
you're running alongside with your arm going
like that, yeah.
And you're trying to move it.
And you can't hide it, can you? Because you can't run in a normal fashion, and you don't want to show anyone that because you're thinking, hang on, if they run at me here, like, I'm just going to like dive my body at them and not be able to wrap, not even a shoulder charge, just sort of like pathetically throw yourself at them.
It's almost like that feeling when you're going for your shoulder op and they give you the numbness around it and you're trying to move your arm around. Yeah, it's a weird feeling in that when you're running and on the field, it's just you can't feel anything. Your hands tingle. And over there in England, it'll be even worse because of the coldness.
Yeah, far out.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, I'll never forget that as long as I live. Anyway, on to all things football related in the current day. Origin, Dead Rubber, GI. You've played in a couple of these.
Yeah.
What's it like?
I played in a few, and you go into the games even though you're 2-0 up. I was part of the 2010, the last one that had a clean sweep, and even to get to that point at 2-0 up and to go on and get the clean sweep, it's quite hard. And we've seen on Wednesday night how hard and difficult it is. It's because you go in, players can go in, train all they want, and go in, but subconsciously they're probably just going in saying, "Oh, we've already got the game, the series wrapped up." But in saying that, you ask the players now, it's like, nah, I wouldn't be thinking about that. Just like, I just want to get out there and play the best. But then later on, they'll probably be sitting back and thinking about it. It's like, oh, actually, yeah, I did go in that subconsciously because I thought the same way around those games. And then now looking back on it, it's like, well, yeah, actually, I did maybe take it a little bit easier than what I should have. But New South Wales deserved that. That they went out there, they played for it, and not only did they play as a team, Cody Walker unlocked their attacking weapons in the outside backs. So, I reckon they got the team right in game 3. But yeah, it's hard to go in there when it's a dead rubber. You're going 2-0 up, and you're going trying to get the series 3-0
because it's mission accomplished, isn't it?
Mission
accomplished. Like the objective is win the series.
Yeah, and I don't think it wouldn't even mattered if it was played in Suncorp either.
Wow.
Yeah. I've had that opportunity up there again, and the same thing happened. So, it's what. Well, you look at it. What does the team? What does New South Wales have to lose, or what did Queensland have to lose? Well, if you put the shoe on the other foot.
Well, New South Wales. Queensland had almost like nothing to win other than a clean sweep.
Yeah.
But I mean, they won the series.
Yeah, so it always would have been nice to walk into the sheds with 3-0 up and be more, but
because you go down in history as a 3-0 side.
Yeah, and while we're 13 years on later and still talked about when I was involved in that. So, subconsciously, like I said, it'd be hard for them to get up there and actually admit it. But look at it later on down the track in a few years, they'll probably be sitting here saying, "Yeah, actually, I might have been just a little bit off and thinking about." Getting through the game and lifting the shield and going back into clubland. But I can't speak on those players. I only speak from my own experience.
Yeah, because I feel like all the talk this week was around that if New South Wales were to win, like they were going to have to claw and fight. But to be honest, they did it like quite comfortably. I think they really dominated that second half there and looked like a different Blues side. And I guess when you've got like nothing to lose, they definitely played like it. Like they moved the ball a lot more than they have. The addition of Cody was awesome, starting Cam Murray. So that combination between Cook and those two was good. And, mate, Bradman Best, I thought he was outstanding. And, yeah, he really showed a lot of, critics that were very critical of him being picked, that he's ready. And, I thought he was, and it's awesome to see him play that well.
I was going to say it because there was a lot of media attention about him. So why'd you pick Best and, why'd you put Cutho in there and, what's the best way to utilise it? And again, it was scrutinising the squad that Freddie picked and New South Wales selectors picked. But, if Woody would have the best game that he did, Bradman Best, if, Cody wasn't there to unlock it, if they didn't, mix up the middles with Cam Murray, knowing when to play, know how far to go into the line to pass it to Cody. That's what unlocked the players on the outside.
Their whole skill execution seemed a lot better. Even the first try from Toto on last play, it was a bit disjointed. The attack, it wasn't shaped. There was, people were sort of like half waiting for the kick, but the accuracy of the pass, which makes all the difference, led to Toto having that space in the corner. Now, take you back to game 1 and game 2. New South Wales were in similar positions, but one of those passes was just half a yard behind or half a yard in front, not a clean catch, which then, if that happens, Kaloa-Matangi can't do that baton to Crichton because it's a like split-second accuracy bang. And I just thought New South Wales skill level, whether that's due to the play, the couple of additions, but it seemed like everybody had a much more accurate passing game, whatever you want to call it. It was just that their attack was sensational and their willingness to throw the ball and shift out a yardage as well was telling. It really freed up that left edge. And whether that's Cody saying this is the game plan I want to play. I want us to shift here because you got to trust me that I'll find the right pass.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, I think, it's a bit of a blueprint there for next year moving forward. And I think Cody, if he continues on this vein of form, he has to be in there next season.
Well, it looked like they played with confidence. It looked like they played calm, and they backed it up with their defense. That's what Origins footy is about. Playing that there, being confident in what your game plan is, going out and execute it the best way they can, which they did. And, hats off to them because they showed that they can play that brand of footy. It's picking the right people in the right positions to start off with. But I like the way that they defense as well. The way they did up throughout the whole 80 minutes, not just, drips and drabs here and there. So, congratulations to them.
What were Queensland tries? The first one was off a kick. And the second one...
The hammer.
Oh, that was
freakish.
See how quick he was off the mark?
He actually he side-footed that. Like, you watch the replay, you watch it in... He's actually turned his foot and put it on a little side foot. Incredible skill.
The quickness of him off the mark.
Yeah.
He just looked like he was just jogging past Toto.
It's just not fair, people who are fast. It really annoys me. You talk of the defence from the Blues, G.I. Do you think they were playing for their coach?
I think they were playing for their coach. I think they were playing to bring back into, this whole series and even last series is like, they're not playing as a team. They're not playing as they should as for a state. They're not playing pride in their jersey, and it all just gelled in or playing for their coach. And, Wednesday night they showed it. They showed they did all those three things. All these things that they're being criticised about, they went and played it, and they played it for longer and harder than Queensland did. And that's the way it was, and that's why New South Wales won, because they earned it. They earned that win.
Slater said it after the game, we got what we deserved, or in this game you get what you deserve. So it'd be interesting to see if Fittler is given another chance and deserves another chance. I think personally he has. There's no other clear candidate.
Yeah, that's
What about you, Connor? Where are you at with that? Should he be reinstated?
I'm with you, Jimmy. I just can't really see who comes in, to replace him. And I think last night, they got the balance of the side right and really showed what New South Wales was capable of. And, you spoke about playing for the coach, but a lot of these players also, are playing for themselves and playing for their own Origin careers. Like, it was important coming off sort of two poor games from them. Had a really good display last night. So,
Your club mate, captain, Teddy.
Yeah, Ted was
outstanding.
Awesome. So good.
Even though he's been criticised the 3 games, he's made over 200 metres each game. I think last night he got close to 3.
Well, that's
300.
That's the thing with Ted. You kind of take for granted how good he is.
Yeah.
So when he's not making a line break or scoring a try every game, then, people who don't watch the game that closely or, sort of listen to outside noise will then think that he hasn't had a great game because he hasn't filled up the stat sheet, but he's always there. You can look at the amount of runs he has, the amount of meters he takes, and he's always trying, he's always competing, but, there's probably, had an issue with the high ball in the first game and come up with a clutch play last night at the death where they put a absolute howler of a kick down and he just jumped out through 3 of them and caught it. So
you can never keep great players down, can you?
Nah, not a champion. So
he just
form is temporary, class is permanent, and that was evident with James Tedesco. As attention quickly turns to the run into the NRL season, what's it like for players backing up, GI?
Look, it's tough. It's coming back and being around in camp for those 3 games and then going back in the couple. And yes, you want to go back and you want to perform and do the best you can because ultimately this is your chance to prove your team to go into the finals. Me personally, I'll give you a quick story about me personally, and this goes back to when we first started. My welcome to first grade moment. We in Melbourne when we used to play Brisbane most of the time after Origins. And I remember this one particular game. I was going back and I started playing 5'8" at the time. I think this was 2006, maybe 07. and we played Brisbane at the old Olympic Park, where it was just a racetrack around it, and everybody hated going down there playing against Melbourne at that field. And then running out there in typical Wayne Bennett fashion, knew I was backing up, I think he rested Carmichael Hunt and Justin Hodges. Anyway, so what he did, we had Bradthorne, he had Petro Seven-Siva. Bradthorne's playing edge, Petro's playing front. And what does Wayne do? I'm defending in the front line after Origin. This is on a Saturday, I think, or Sunday afternoon. Body's still not recovered well. Puts him on my side. So what do you reckon I did? I had to tackle them two all 80 minutes. After about 10 minutes, I was like, I want to get out of here. I don't want to be here. Like, honestly, just walking back, talking about that frozen shoulder. Man, I had a frozen body all over my game, like corks. You know, I don't know if you ever tackled Petro before, but he is, and you think he's tired, but he's never tired. He just keeps turning up, keeps wanting the ball, and when he runs, it's elbows and knees, and when you try to go down low, it's, you know,
it was like he's made out of granite.
I'm either going up for a HIA like today over a small little bump and not coming back. Don't put me back on. But man, I was just getting hit left, right, and centre. So, you know, that's a bit of. But that's my little story about backing up from Origin. It is quite hard, though. It's tough. I remember another game where we played the Cowboys on a Friday night straight after, just out at Amy Park. And, you know, coming back there and trying to get back up for it, you know, you're tired, you're busted, you just came, but, you know, you still got to turn up in front for your club. But it is difficult. It is hard. And, you know, I think there's footage of me with one of those little bandages on my quad, because I had a cork in my quad and a little bit of I'll say it wouldn't cork, I'll say pretty much a soreness. the whole team was just giving it to me because I ran out there first time. And I got this intercept and I was like, oh man, I don't want to run the length of this field. I was over it. But yeah.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did it. It comes with it. But when you get there, I was like, oh, someone just catch me. I don't want to keep running. But yeah, it is quite hard backing out from Origin, but you know, it's like I keep saying, it's your job. You got to turn up and do it, even though you're thinking about, oh, you know, I wouldn't mind a rest here, but I think because I was younger then, and when you get older and you're playing more games and playing more, then that's when the coach can look at you and say, hey, we'll actually give you a rest, which happened. You know, when I was up here at South Sydney, you know, you earn that. Yeah, you earn that rest.
Well, some clubs as well, they're in that position that they can afford to do that. I think we've seen Penrith Panthers. We've seen them do it and not do it. Last year, it was really successful for them, but they earned that right to go into Origin and after Origin rest their players. There's probably some teams in a boat where they can't afford to rest, and they think that, you know, a player backing up is better than what they've already got. Whether or not in the long run it is for the betterment of the team, I don't know. But I think there's 9 teams in the race for finals, with all due respect to Manly and the Titans and then the Dolphins and the Roosters that can still get there mathematically. I think it's a 9-horse race. Who do you think misses out?
Geez, I'm going to say that we make it, firstly.
So, okay. So
we've got to win 7 of 8 to make the finals. So
the Roosters can do it.
Yeah, we did it last year.
Yeah,
we did it last year.
Roosters can do it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
that game might have, you know, brought Teddy back to bringing it back to his clubland on Wednesday night. Yeah, might bring the whole morale back together, bring him more confidence. You can never say never in this game.
We get a few troops back too.
All right, so who
is back this week?
Cheese is back.
Sammy Walker this week, next week, probably play cup this week, I think. But I looked at our side the other day. I like sort of the side that we've got playing. Young Siwa Wong, did you see his debut the other week? Off the bench. Very
strong.
Awesome. Didn't look out of place at all. Didn't miss a beat. But okay, let me go back to this. The 9. So I think looking at it right now, I reckon, like obviously Panthers, Broncos make it. I think Storm end up there. Raiders as well. I think they've had a terrific turnaround of form. Like they've done a great job, especially the way they started the year. Everyone was talking about how slow they were sort of started and found their form. They played terrific through their middles, and they're just doing that again. Just beat teams down. Do you notice that Raiders? I swear every time I watch them, they never like smoke a team. It's always really close, but they just make it so hard. It's because of the style of footy that they play.
Yeah,
They're winning tough.
They win tough. Yeah, that's what they do. They win tough.
They're winning finals footy games.
Yeah, they're playing finals footy. That's right. The Rabbitohs will be up there. So what have I got there so far, Jim?
you got
16?
6.
Have I said the Warriors?
No.
Yeah, the Warriors will make it.
So you got 1 between Eels and Cowboys. That's where I'm at with it as well.
Yeah.
Eels or Cowboys, but I think Para miss it
Really?
I agree,
just
yeah.
off their draw. They've got a really difficult draw, and I
They
think
got a tough draw.
Para play the Cowboys in Townsville.
Oh, actually, we
next
make
week.
it. That makes it. So both
Both
Eels and
out.
Cowboys.
both Eels and Cowboys out.
Roosters
Roosters
in.
catapult themselves in.
Yeah.
I think, I agree with you. I think Eels miss out and Cowboys go in.
Yeah, as it stands,
As it stands.
I'm with you on that
Yeah.
one.
As it stands, and looking at it now and seeing both their teams' home runs into the finals, Eels have a really tough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Cowboys, the way they're playing and the way they turn things around, I think Eels miss out and Cowboys go in.
Also, though, how good has the Eels turnaround been? Remember we were talking about them.
They were 0-4.
Oh, yeah.
Awful.
I think, 0-4. Yeah.
Everyone was freaking out about them and, are they already out of the finals contention? But
Yeah.
they've done a terrific job to get back to where they are. I just actually ran into Ryan Madison before I was talking to him about it. And he just said, we still thought we're playing good footy, but we just weren't winning games. So they've just done a good job of just sort of winning those games now, and they're in some good form. Get Mitch Moses back, Dylan Brown in a couple of weeks.
Payne Haas, via his management, has said he is set to hit the open market come November the 1st. It's not
Huge.
the first time we've heard this from Payne Haas's management. He wanted a release, I think,
A couple of years ago. I believe he's the best prop in the game at the age of 23. He's a phenomenal athlete, a
Fit.
great footballer. He's fit. He carries the ball strong. He chases back. He does all the effort.
Saves
areas.
so many tries.
Is this going to be the end of his Broncos career?
Oh, yeah. Well, what happened was it last year, a few years ago, when he said he wanted out or wanted more money? He ran out. I think we was talking about it with Ben Hunt.
I think he wanted some clauses in there as
Yeah,
well
and we're
around finishing in the 8 or winning a premiership.
Yeah, because we was talking about Ben Hunt a few weeks back and going back and being booed. We didn't want it to be like the Payne Haas saga.
Yeah.
So a couple of years later, and now this is happening. So he's a free agent. It's out in the market on November 1st.
I don't know if he leaves.
You don't reckon?
Nah, I think just looking at where Broncos are, they're in a.
But then what? But for me, this says he is leaving.
Yeah.
The very
Do you
fact
think?
that, yeah.
The fact that he's said it twice already, and then he's willing to go on the open market, right? And who out there would have
Everyone
the
would
money?
love to have him.
Yeah, but who's got the money in the salary cap? You can't be the Bulldogs and throw shares in a pub at him. So it's then also they got to think about Fafita and Tino. So it's
But this would be for Payne Haas. It would be for season 2025.
Okay.
So there's plenty of time to shuffle the deck salary cap wise and make a play for him.
That's still 2 years away. So he's still up there looking.
So he's here for
looking
the
at
end of
clubs.
the end of this season and next year, contracted at the Broncos. But clubs can make a play for him for 2025. I think the Roosters are a team that springs to mind. He was rumoured to have plenty of interest from there last time he was off contract. I think the Bulldogs will almost certainly make a play for him. They've made a play for Tino, or alleged. It's been reported that they've made a play for Tino, so they want that marquee middleman.
Raiders have money too.
Raiders have money. The Tigers have money. The Dolphins could be in the mix.
I hope South's got money. Throw towards him.
Yeah, he's so good. Do you?
You reckon he'll potentially move south, Melbourne?
To the Storm.
Yeah. Do you reckon that will suit him?
I don't know if they could afford him.
I think you
with the money that they've got tied up in Munster,
Grant
and Grant,
Pappenhausen,
Nelson,
Jerome.
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at, put my South cap on, looking at South. They're just looking to rebuild and looking to re-sign players. So, hearing this news, they might put some money aside for it.
Payne Haas is the type of player, for a start, for front rowers, you need 4 of them in your 17, so there's always room. And then it's just about how much you value allocating so much of your salary cap towards a front row, because if he's going to be demanding $1 million a year plus, that's a lot of money to be tied up in a front row. A lot. I just hope he stays in the game. I've got a fear that he's going to follow Swally out to rugby union, because I think rugby union could afford to pay him way more than what any club could at the moment.
Did you play juniors coming through?
No idea.
Union? No idea.
Mate, he could play anything.
Look, if he was to go to union, where would he be?
I feel like he'd be a number 8.
Just give him the ball.
Number 8, yeah.
Fullback. Just give him the ball.
Fullback.
He could play inside, outside centre. He can do him wherever you want.
Probably a number 8.
Unbelievable athlete. Like, he's one of those guys that you could put him in the lock, in the back row, front row, and he could still do his job to the best. So I don't know. Whoever goes for him, good luck to you, and hopefully he's got enough money in the cap for it. So,
do you think if the Broncos don't win a comp over the next couple of years, would that be a factor too?
Well, he's not going to have that much time to decide, is he?
No.
Because he comes a free agent November the 1st. I think this will likely be sorted but before a ball's kicked next year. If he's moving somewhere else or staying, I reckon it'll be a matter of before the season started, and we'll be seeing him either play on and he's re-signed at Brisbane, or it'll be next year he'll be at Club X. Yep. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the Roosters and the Dogs, the front runners from the Sydney teams. But like you say, GI, Souths, they're always in the hunt now as well. Like
with this player member, I think we spoke about it a few weeks ago as well. He's still got end of this year, still got a whole next year, but he's said he's coming out to become a free agent to sign somewhere, looking to somewhere in 2025. Like, wouldn't that make that dressing room a bit uneasy? Or
this is the problem
with
that we have, and but it happens.
Yeah.
Brandon Smith did it when he left Melbourne to come to the Roosters. It's not the first time that this has happened before.
2 years out.
They've got all the tampering rules over in the States, hey, with stuff like this. Like, you can't come out and say that you want to go, or clubs can't say that they're interested in you. You get fined up to the 9 balls. Like,